The Mayans were an ancient culture that existed from approximately 2000 BC to 900 AD. The Maya civilization shares many features with other Mesoamerican civilizations due to the high degree of interaction and cultural diffusion that characterize the region. Advances such as writing, epigraphy, and the calendar did not originate with Maya. However, their civilization fully developed them. Mayans were also avid players of the Mesoamerican ball game known as Ola Maldzali, and it was used for both ritual and sport. The objective of the game was to keep the ball in play using hips, and occasionally arm rackets and handstands. A later addition was the use of hoops, which players hit the ball through in order to score points. In the traditional Mayan culture, the ball court becomes a place of transition, a liminal stage between life and death. The ball court markers along the center line of the classic playing field depicted ritual and mythical scenes of the ball game, often bordered by a quarter foil that marked a portal into another world. Story of the Hero Twins. Rise to heroism. Huanapu and Balak, also known as the Mayan Hero Twins, were born in a mystical way, as their dead father magically impregnated their mother, Suquit. The twins' father and uncle, once great ball players, were challenged by the Lords of Death in a renowned Mayan ball game. However, they were deceived and killed after losing to them. The twins grew up with their grandmother and half-brothers who constantly mistreated them and made them do hard work. The Hero Twins worked diligently and wished to become gardeners. However, they also failed, as the forest animals would always ruin their garden. Finally, one day they captured a rat and were able to kill it, until the rat revealed that the twins were not meant to be gardeners, but called to be great ball players and undertake the same adventures as their father and uncle. The twins listened to the rat and realized that they needed the proper equipment, and with the help of the rat and supernatural powers, they were able to retrieve their father and uncle's gear. Through long hours of practice, the Mayan twins became great ball players, and they attracted the attention of the Lords of Death, who challenged them to a ball game, just as they did to their father and uncle. Once the twins left and entered into the underworld, they had effectively left their unknown realm and ventured into the world of danger. The Lords of Death tested the Mayan twins, giving them some trials to complete before they played each other. The twins successfully completed each obstacle until the last, where Huanapu lost his head, but his twin called on his supernatural abilities to make his brother new head out of vegetables. The twins continued to play the Lords of Death, who they essentially defeated. However, they realized that the Lords would not submit until they were dead, so they willingly sacrificed themselves. The Lords did not dispose of the twins properly, resulting in the rebirth of the twins. The twins came back, looking significantly different and with godlike powers rejuvenated. The twins now had the ability to bring themselves back to life and refabricate items. After this apotheosis, the twins began to display their power to entertain people. Once again, the Lords of Death took notice of the twins. However, they did not realize that these were in fact the Hero Twins. The twins dismembered each other in front of the Lords. Then, they brought themselves back to life. The Lords were amazed by this feat and requested the twins to kill them and bring them back to life, unbeknown to the reality that the twins would not resurrect them. The twins finally achieved their ultimate goal of avenging both their father and uncle's deaths, as well as their own. After killing the Lords of Death, the heroes brought their father back to life with their newly acquired powers. However, recognizing that their father was incapable of normality, the heroes acknowledged that they couldn't save him. The twins ultimately decided to leave their father in the underworld. They completed their mission, mastering both the physical and spiritual worlds, resulting in their souls ascending into heaven, and then transforming into the sun and the moon. Notably, the twins are able to display a substantial amount of intellect when faced with obstacles of the divine. Unlike their fathers, they clearly learn that things are not always as they appear. With the example of the statues that had originally deceived their father, the twins were able to learn their lesson and see past this trickery. Mayan civilization always looked to members of society that had displayed the quality of learning from past occurrences. Evidently, Mayans emphasized courage and intellect as a primary value in society. Even in modern Latin America, it is quite clear that this value has specifically had a long-term impact on Mayan society. The greatest members of society tend to be those that observe scenarios from a variety of angles in an effort to reach a logical conclusion. Decision-making is therefore the portable skill that one should hope to take from the myth and apply to the real world as it would seem appropriate. While bravery is valued on an individual level, the cultural norm of cosmology and ends without beginnings are quite prominent in the tale of the twins. In Mayan civilization, it was known that all things existed, but did not have a definite end, as other cultures typically did. Such a way of viewing the universe meant that death was only a step towards a series of tasks to complete in order to finish the journey to paradise. When the twins accept their demise in order to be reborn, it is quite obvious that they view death as a minor state in the grand scheme of things. Accepting death appeared to be a service rather than an annoyance, especially given the impact it had in defeating the gods. Death was socially acceptable and tended to be rewarding when a person voluntarily gave up their chance at life. Oddly, this paradise existed on Earth, and the only way to achieve entrance was to pass tests and obstacles designed to challenge the human's intellect. The obstacles reinforces the idea of intellect being a requirement for a valid human being. Moreover, the ballgame itself embodies the Mayan view of life and how all forms of life interact. Pocahontas was intended to be a symbol of the clinical nature of life, as opposed to good versus evil. With the characters being quite fond of the game, it ensures that they themselves glorified and accepted the concept of life as part of an extraneous cycle.